Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at absolute value expressions. Remember, every mathematical expression is a bunch of math stuff without an equal sign. Could you guess what an absolute value expression is? Damn, you got it. Absolute value expressions are expressions, aka no equal signs, that include absolute value bars. So if we see absolute value bars in a statement with no equal sign, we say that's an absolute value expression. Let's take a look at the most beautiful absolute value expression we could ever hope for, which is just what we call the absolute value of x. This thing right here, we're going to call a pure absolute value expression, because there's no stuff going on the outside of the absolute value bars. In fact, it's the most beautiful absolute value expression we could ever hope for. Let's take a look at another pure absolute value expression that is a little bit more interesting. In this case, we can actually do multiplication on the inside. So 2x plus 3 in absolute values. We would read this entire thing as the absolute value of 2x plus 3. This one's not as easy to classify as an absolute value because the inside kind of looks like mx plus b. We might be tempted to say, hey, you know what? That's a linear expression because we've got that mx plus b on the inside. But the moment that I drop that absolute value bar on the outside, we know immediately, no, that's not linear, that's absolute value because the absolute value bars show up. This also is a pure absolute value expression because it has no extra symbols outside the absolute value bars. Let's take a look at an impure or complicated absolute value expression. Perhaps we had something like negative 3 times the absolute value of x minus 1 plus 2. This is not a pure absolute value expression. It is an absolute value expression though, right? Because 1, there's no equal sign, and then 2, the absolute value bars show up. So this for sure is an absolute value expression, but it's not pure. It's not pure because this stupid negative 3 is on the outside of the absolute value bars, and so is that stupid positive 2. Kind of messes up our ST. So the whole idea is absolute value expressions are mathematical statements that include no equal sign and absolute value bars.